Hopefully I have enough space on my computer to hold this video. Just kidding.
What do you got?
So many games.
Oh, you don't delete stuff, dude. Once I get sick of a game, I delete it like immediately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have like.
You have pretty good internet though, don't you?
Yeah.
You can re-download stuff pretty quick.
Yeah, we're good. I've been in my Call of Duty phase, so I have a bunch of Call of Duty games that I've been playing, like the old ones. But yeah. What was that?
Oh, I was just saying, you can do that. You can
Play
go back to old games.
Yes.
Do you play the story or?
No, I play the multiplayer. I like to see the difference of the game and like how it runs differently.
Gotcha.
I've been playing Black Ops 3. I've been playing Modern Warfare, Black Ops 2,
Wow.
Vanguard. Yeah, it's bad.
That's hilarious.
I don't think you understand the love I have for Call of Duty.
Apparently
At this moment, you don't. But,
why?
But let's get into House of the Dragon.
Yes, let's do it.
I'm so excited. I wanted to do this with you yesterday.
I wanted to do it on Sunday.
Oh, Sunday, yeah. But I'm working.
We need to do this the night of. I know.
Yeah.
We had some family come over and stuff, so it was difficult. But
yeah. But like one of the things I love about this podcast is that, or show, whatever we're gonna call this, is I love that I don't talk to you at all because you always give me little snippets of what you're like. Because you said you have one big major flaw in the episode or something.
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited to hear that.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into our initial reactions. What did you feel coming off it? With no spoilers as well.
No, it was very good. I thought they did such a good job with setting the background of it, the main story, the background, the history.
Mm-hmm.
It was really quick, but it did it perfectly. It did it justice. It explained it. It was good. Boom, you got to the point, and then it got straight into the story.
I was getting total Lord of the Rings vibes. Were you?
Yes.
And
that was my number. Yeah. That was my number one note. I just felt like it was Galadriel saying,
yeah, seriously,
talking to us.
Yeah,
it was cool though. I love the way they did that.
Yep.
Explained how many years, the reign of the Targaryens, and it was cool.
And I'm glad they were able to connect it back to Game of Thrones by showing us, the time frame between Daenerys as well.
And I loved how easy they made it for every person on the planet to get that it was 172 years before Daenerys.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, 90% of the people out there is like, okay, when does this take place? So they made it super easy for you.
Yeah. My biggest pet peeve is when movies or shows, you can tell they didn't give it the full care needed, like with every single aspect of it. And I was kind of blown away by how well they crafted this episode from the Red Keep and King's Landing to the CGI of the dragons. Like, it looks like a modern Game of Thrones now.
Yeah.
Like, even better, which is shocking. There's so much color and vibrancy in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty freaking good.
Yeah, no, what I love too though is they gave a little bit of history of the background, and then it got right into the episode, and it feels like you weren't missing anything,
Mm-hmm.
It went right into the story, and it felt like you weren't missing a dang thing. You understood it, and let's get the story going,
Yeah, no confusion. That's true.
No, it really wasn't. And
for the audience who did watch Game of Thrones, I feel like this episode was not like the first Game of Thrones episode at all. It's completely different. It got straight into the action.
Yeah.
And not that I find one or the other better in terms of like a slower paced starting to like the fast paced, but with this it was very different. They did not want to like slow anything down, which I was very surprised, to be honest, but
yeah. They grabbed you pretty quick.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say. We can get into our scores, which I will give right now. So, again, we're not doing stars for episodes at this time. We will discuss later if we ever want to start giving stars to episodes. But for our entertainment score, me and Calvin, we were actually very similar when we discussed. We were just 1 point off each. So we came up with 86%, or 86 out of 100, sorry, for the entertainment. We were very pleased no issues there. And then for a critical summation, it was first rate. It feels cared for and solid with very minimal complaints. Do you have anything to add to that? Because
no, that's perfect.
I feel like it gives
first episode it was solid. It really was.
But yeah,
There's very very few things to really complain about, honestly.
But like throughout it, I never felt like 90 was in my head, right? Either for you? Either?
No.
And it's just hard for a pilot to do that because you don't have the character backgrounds or the feelings yet.
Yeah, you're still building character backgrounds and all that. That the feelings you get for these characters later on.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's weird. I'm so used to Daenerys being my only Targaryen that I don't like seeing other ones. But I'll get used to it.
Lawns of those white-haired. Oh yeah.
So yeah, let's spoil this. So I want to get straight into the characters with you.
Okay.
Let's start with Viserys.
Okay.
So I feel like I'm gonna have a different opinion than you on this. It's just my vibe coming off the first episode, and I rewatched it again, so I watched it twice. Yeah. But I feel like Viserys does not have much character. This is what I feel like. I feel like when they wrote it, it was, let's get a very middle of the road, just nice guy.
Yeah.
And I feel like he hasn't shown me anything yet. But I'm like, I feel like I don't know him. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I get it.
You get that feeling too, because my wife also felt it as well. Like, not much character there.
There's not much character. He seems very likable. It seems like he's a good king.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I think the people like him. It seems like he's more of a fun king. You know. It seems like he was joking around the table, around the council a little bit. Mm-hmm. So I think they wanted him to be a likable one, to have that contrast with Daemon. You know, his brother, who's obviously gonna cut his neck at some point. But, but no, I like the actor though. But going back to the actor though of Viserys, what's his name? Patty, I think is his first name.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a good actor. I think he plays it. He plays that character really well, Viserys. And I'm hoping what they're wanting Viserys to be. You know.
Mm-hmm. There was one line where I was like, this is not like Game of Thrones. It was, I felt like there was no lord or king who would respond in this way. When Hightower said, okay, king, Viserys, let's talk about your son's ceremonial tournament. And he's like, I would be delighted to talk about that.
Yeah.
Right? That felt so weird to me.
Yeah.
Like, Eddard would never say that. King Baratheon, no one, there's no lord or king who'd ever be like, I'd be delighted to talk about that with you guys. And that was
just a good guy.
Yeah, that was one of the moments where I was like, that feels weird to me.
Yeah.
Not that it's bad, but just weird.
Well, he almost seems completely different. It seems like he's not a Targaryen. Because you see the other Targaryens in the first episode, and they're all pretty straight-faced. They're intense, you know. Even Viserys' cousin, I can't remember her name.
The queen that never was?
Yeah, the queen that never was, She never smiled. She was straight, you know, and all of them are that way.
That's
so
true.
He just seemed completely opposite of what a Targaryen, I think, is portrayed.
Yeah.
But
and Jon never smiles. I swear. No. He's pretty just chilling. But that's a good point. I didn't think about that. I like that.
Yeah.
And then this was interesting. So Stacy sent me a video of George R. R. Martin speaking about this. And he said, whenever shows change your characters or change things in the books, you never like it.
Yeah.
As the writer, right? It's his people. But he said, the only change I do enjoy is Viserys. They've changed him. Because I feel like, if I recall, he said that his Viserys was a little bit more of a pansy.
Okay.
And he actually likes this version of Viserys better. So I'm really excited for the future episodes where we get to see him more and he develops more. To see why he, you know, I'm interested to see what Viserys is, because that's very interesting that he actually agrees with the TV show, to change it.
Yeah.
I found that very interesting, but
yeah, no, I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen, because it's pretty obvious from the first 5 minutes of the show that there's obvious family members are going at each other, right?
Yep.
So I'm curious to see how he's going to react to. I'm assuming Damon's gonna be hardcore at him, trying to take his throne, and then his cousin, the queen that never was. So it's gonna see. I don't think he's gonna be this likable character to the people at that point. He's gonna be, I'm hoping, pretty intense.
And that was one of the weird moments in the show for me, as we're still talking about Viserys, was when they showed Rhaenyra walking through the street of King's Landing. They made it seem like it was a thriving, happy community, right?
Yeah.
But then they all of a sudden, Daemon says, he's led them to bullcrap, type of thing.
Lawbreakers, rapers, killers, yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. It's like they were having two different points of view, maybe. I don't know what they were thinking there, but...
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, nice, everything's happy, and it's all going to crumble. But then immediately they were like, it's already crumbled.
Yeah.
Like, that seems weird.
Yeah, a little bit.
So next up, Rhaenyra. I just wrote, I feel like she's just the very classic female protagonist, Yeah. I don't want to be a wife. I want to fight. I want to ride my dragons.
Yeah. She sounds like Daenerys.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't really have much notes on her, honestly. I thought the actress did good. Mm-hmm. She looks like a good Targaryen, But, no, I'm excited to see where it's going to go with her. Because I think she's going to do a good job. But I didn't really have much feelings for her, right off the bat.
I heard that she's 8 years old.
Ooh.
That's crazy. No, she's 8.
I believe it. She
looks young. Yeah. I was thinking like 15, but she's only 8.
Millie. Let's see.
No, the actor's 22.
Yeah, 22.
Okay, yeah. But the character's only 8. That shocks me.
Gotcha.
But yeah, she seems to me... I'm going to like her. I could feel that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm going to like that character a lot, I think.
Because
I think we're going to get a little bit of Daenerys back. That feeling of that person back into the world.
Yeah, so this is my type of thinking right now is they can't just have... Well, they can. But in my mind, they can't just have her have the same arc as Daenerys, where she seems good, but then her coin flips and she's evil at the end. So I'm assuming she ends off good, just because I couldn't see them having the same type of character do the same thing at the end.
Yeah.
But then we also know she'll never be queen because of what's said in Game of Thrones, Yeah. No queen's ever sat on the Iron Throne. So we know she will not win. And I've never read this books, so we're in the dark here.
Yeah.
About who becomes the king.
And I kind of don't want to do a lot of research either.
I don't want to do any.
So I'm kind of going into this.
Yep. The next up we got Daemon.
He is right off the bat, he's evil.
Yeah.
The second you see him sitting on his brother's throne, you can tell he's going to be.
They had that misty phase over when he was sitting on the throne. Yeah.
It seemed like the throne was down in the basement.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just felt darker and
dirty,
more ominous. But the second you see Daemon and his voice, it's that's it. He's the bad guy. He's the evil one.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because George, another video I saw, George said Daemon is his favorite Targaryen.
Really? He looks like a elf.
Yeah, he does.
From Riverdale.
And he said he will do amazingly heroic good things and amazingly terrible things. So that's why after watching that, I was like, this is the Jaime Lannister of this.
I gotcha.
Of this story. I feel like by the end of it, I'm going to like him. Yeah. And even though he does bad things, he's always going to make it up because he cares.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And, I mean, you did see it. I mean, you saw a little glimmer of goodness in him, honestly. Like his...
With Rhaenyra, he cares.
Yeah. I mean, you could see something there that he cares about the family. So,
yeah.
He's proud to be a Targaryen.
So, yeah, for me, Daemon is the most intoxicating character. And I'm really excited to see how that plays out, what he's going to do.
Very intriguing.
Yeah. But yeah,
Damon, he's the guard, right?
Yeah, he's the King's Guard.
He's the commander.
What do they call that?
The watch. Yep.
Which makes me think. So you say he looks like an elf.
Yes.
So would you rather be an elf or a Targaryen?
He's got the best of both worlds, baby.
Targaryen.
I like that actor though too, just in general. He's a good actor.
So next up, now that's basically all the main characters.
As of right now, yeah.
Yeah, as of right now, obviously.
I have a feeling. So the next one's like High Towers. They're gonna be huge.
Yep.
I have a huge feeling about that with Alicent, the daughter of Otto.
Yep.
You know, and I mean, the Queen that never was. She's obviously gonna be a huge part of it. Mm-hmm. But as of right now, it just seems like it's those three families, right? That they were.
Yep.
The High Towers, the Queen that never was, and then the Viserys, right?
Yep. That's what.
Those three. Yeah.
And that's like one of my thoughts. The opening in Game of Thrones only showed the Starks and Lannisters, obviously. Mm-hmm. So I am very curious about how much they are going to branch off.
Yeah.
I hope we do see a lot of like Starks and Winterfell and just like maybe there's like a family over there that's important. You know, I just hope they do branch off, but I have no idea.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I smiled really big when I heard the name Baratheon and Stark in the first episode. You know.
Yeah. But I am glad that like the High Towers is a different family we've never seen. That's you know I like that they aren't just like going off the old names.
Yep.
But yeah, did you ever see Rhaenyra and Alicent being lesbian?
Initially, I thought there was going to be something there. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was before I knew she was 8.
Oh yeah. I felt like something was going to be put into place there, but.
And that's the beauty of Game of Thrones. They can do anything they want.
I have no idea.
And you would not be surprised one bit.
And still get great ratings.
Yeah. So let's get into our takeaways real quick.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's all the characters that I want to go over.
They're important anyway.
Yeah.
Because I think Alicent's going to be really important. Because right off, it seemed like Otto was, telling her to go make the king happy, basically, right?
Yeah.
But there really wasn't anything else in that. But I think she's going to be a big part of this whole story.
Yeah, I agree. I'm curious what she's going to do, though.
Yeah.
What role?
Yep.
So I'll just go into one of my takeaways. They obviously were trying to capture Game of Thrones and place it in this. They had like everything you remember from Game of Thrones, elements wise. They had it with nudity, gore, awesome combat. They had it all in this episode. I thought that was funny that they felt like they had to add every element into it.
Yeah, it got people hooked, man.
Yeah,
it really did.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, it felt very Game of Thrones-y.
Yeah.
It's the same world. What do you expect?
Yeah. And then I also was extremely surprised.
So back to that real quick.
Yeah.
It kind of surprised me, and I don't know the details of it, but it was obviously about 200 years before Daenerys. I felt like the city, King's Landing, was way more progressive.
Yes.
Does that make sense? I feel like, just looking at our history 200 years ago, we were nothing compared to what we are now,
Mm-hmm.
So it just threw me off that the King's Landing was still this huge, thriving town. It looked
identical.
Not really much different than Daenerys' time frame.
Yeah. I said that immediately to Stacey. I said, this looks the exact same, and like...
well, the armor all looks the same. It's not like... I feel like there would have been... technology improvements in 200 years, but it seemed like nothing really changed in that span.
Yeah, the exact same world.
But
honestly, though, maybe they are ahead of what they are because of the rebellion.
Yeah.
I don't know. That'd be interesting to know, though, if that was the
Not
case.
hating on it. It was good.
Yeah.
It was fine. It looked good.
I did like all the Targaryen dominance shown throughout the scene. Like, Targaryens rule the world, basically. I love that.
Well, they have what? They said they have 10 dragons, correct?
Well, that was during the last king. I'm not sure if they still have 10.
No, that was the peak. Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, that was the peak of the Targaryen is when the king, whatever.
The first king. I mean, before Viserys.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many they have now, but...
Reign. But they did say, they had 10 full-size dragons, so...
Yeah.
We know of what? At least 2?
We've only seen 2.
Did we just see 2? Yeah.
And Daemon's dragon looks freaking sick.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I do like how these dragons have more personality, and in Game of Thrones they look the exact same.
The exact same, just different color.
Yeah. But I like that.
Excited for that.
So I was gonna say this episode, like I said in the beginning, it did shock me how much action and setup there was. Like going through the plot points, they went over like 10 different things that are important in this one episode.
Yeah.
And coming into it, that was not my expectation in the slightest.
No, not at all. I thought it was going to be a lot slower.
Uh-huh.
I
was like, introduce some characters, give some personality, and at the end, kind of get a big thing that happens that starts everything. But they literally set up so many things that we can go into later. But I just want to make that point that shocked about that.
Yeah.
I looked at Stacey and was like, oh my gosh. There's so much to uncover in this.
Yeah.
And then I also want to talk about the King's Council. Or is that what they call it?
Yeah, we saw a bunch of that.
Yeah. Probably 3 different scenes.
Yeah, I felt like it was way more put together, more full, more organized than I ever saw in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. I said it's the exact complete opposite of Game of Thrones.
Oh, really?
They're all nice. They're all,
Yeah.
It just felt so different.
Seems like no one wants to backstab anyone.
In Game of Thrones, they're all they all seem like they cared.
They care about things. Yeah. Okay, so question about the council. They showed it multiple times with them grabbing a stone and putting it on in something in front of them. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Does that just mean that they're they're here at the table ready to work, or is there something?
Yeah.
No idea.
I'm curious if they're going to actually explain that.
Because they had a couple scenes where they close up showed them put the orb in the holder.
I feel like the big one was when the king...
Yeah.
After the funeral, he walks in. Did he set it... I think, did the hand set it down for him?
Someone behind. I think he was the guard or something. He grabbed it and put it. I don't think it was the hand. I don't think it was Otto.
Okay.
But
someone
did
as soon as he got to the table,
Yep.
So it's just presents.
I don't know what that's about, but
a presents ball.
But no, the councils were cool. It was good.
I do miss Littlefinger and Varys. They are so good in Game of Thrones.
Varys,
I love their just everything about them together.
So evil.
And
so slimy.
in season 3 when they were gone, it made me so sad. It was like the council's not the same anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, the councils were the exact opposite, and I found that interesting.
They seemed productive.
Yeah. I would be delighted to talk about. Whatever. So I wanted to talk about the very big opening. And I don't know if you caught this or if I am just imagining things just to think about foreshadowing or whatever. But when the king read the scroll and called Viserys the king, Viserys didn't have an excited face and the king was just dead-faced.
Yeah.
Do you think that will be explained, or do you think that was literally just the acting and was like...
I don't know.
Did you even notice that? Did you?
I didn't notice it at all.
Yeah. Because Viserys was just like awesome.
Yeah.
And he looks at the queen. It's just kind of like...
Yeah.
And then the king is literally just like this.
Well, he was sick, right? So maybe he...
Yeah, but how...
Yeah. I don't know.
Was he that sick that he couldn't I don't know.
Like, might have been. I don't know.
Yeah, so this could be nothing, but I thought it was an interesting point to bring up, and I was curious if you saw that. But
no, not really.
And the other one I wanted to bring up was the King Viserys was stabbed in the hand at the end of the episode by the Iron Throne.
Okay, and also Viserys's wound on his back.
Okay, yes.
Because he also said he got it from sitting on the throne.
Oh, is that what he said?
I think so, if I remember right. So it, yeah.
I missed that then. How did I miss that?
It's so confusing because I remember seeing the back and saying he got it from sitting on that throne. And then once he cut himself again, I immediately thought Daemon had something to do with it. Because he was sitting on the throne before. So I immediately thought, oh, he poisoned something, put poison on the throne, cut himself, and now he's, I actually went to that. But then when I rewatched it again, I don't know what they're doing.
Interesting.
I really don't.
Stacy said tetanus.
Yeah, okay. No, maybe that's the guys. No, seriously, maybe it's something they can't.
Yeah. Something they have no idea about.
Tetanus is pretty deadly, dude.
Yeah.
If you don't got your shots, it's.
Yeah.
But I was very intrigued with his wound on his back because they said it wasn't healing. They couldn't do anything, So, and they obviously put it in the episode for something in the future, I'm assuming.
Well, maybe not. I feel like a commercial. Maybe they're talking about the first king or the last king, but I feel like they talked about Viserys being sick.
Oh. Okay.
And he died, and he, like, I don't know why, but going into the show, I felt like he had, like, the show was going to revolve around him dying early, and that's why everything takes place.
Gotcha.
But now that I've seen this first episode, I'm starting to believe that's not the case.
Okay.
And it's going to be more about, I don't know, him alive and him trying to help Rhaenyra, be the king or whatever, stop the Civil War. But... yeah, I could have just been confused about the last king.
Yeah, that's true.
But, yeah, they did show us him actually sick, so there might be something at play there later.
Yeah, I don't know. Because at first, another thing I thought of when I saw his back, I thought it was that disease with the stone.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I thought it was too, but then it didn't look like that at all. It just looked like an open wound, so I kind of put that away, But,
and that was just, like, subtly placed in the episode.
Yeah.
I'm interested why they didn't just wait for next episode to show that.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, this episode is so packed that I'm surprised they didn't slow it down a little bit. And then towards the end, after the funeral, I was getting the vibe that Otto Hightower was sending his daughter to go have sex with the king.
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, I had no idea what that scene necessarily meant, other than maybe they're just showing that Viserys likes her, like she's a nice girl. I don't know.
Yeah.
What did you glean from that?
So earlier I said I think Hightowers are gonna be pretty big. I think they're gonna get married. I think Alicent and Viserys is gonna get married. They're gonna have kids. They're gonna join their houses together. They're gonna have a few kids, and I think that might be
the
battle between the Targaryens and the Hightowers taking rule. Because at that point, it's technically Targaryens, but
the mixture,
right, because if I understand right, all the Targaryens, the whole line is just marrying cousins, siblings, right, to keep that line pure. If I recall,
I don't know if it's like they have to. In Game of Thrones, they say like they're not afraid to do it, type thing.
Yeah. So I don't, and we obviously know there's hatred between Daemon and Otto.
Yeah.
So Otto's daughter becoming
this makes complete sense.
So that's what, but I don't know yet because initially that's what I thought that was happening, but then I was expecting something to advance between Viserys and Alicent. In the room when they were talking, I thought there would have been a little bit more emotion where Viserys I don't know, went up to her, kissed her. I don't know.
Okay, that makes complete sense. Yep.
But that's what I think that's going to happen.
I'm on board with you 100% about that.
Because I think it's not... I don't think they're going to have this story solely just the Targaryens, I think it's going to have a way more...
And people joining sides.
Yeah.
Do you think go on.
Well, as we know, too, that there is a younger version and an older version of Rhaenyra, So they obviously are bouncing back and forth from future, past in the story.
Yes.
With the trailers we've seen, so it's not...
And she's narrating the intro, which makes me think she's alive at the end.
Yeah.
Which is what makes me think that the Daemon and the Queen that never was win. That's my feeling.
Yeah.
Or something. Or she just rejects it. But yeah, that's very
interesting. She could reject it and just start riding a dragon everywhere.
Yeah. Very good points, man.
Eat cake.
That was beautiful.
But I think High Towers is a big thing, and the hatred between, because they put that on pretty thick with Daemon and Otto hating each other.
Yep.
So I think.
And I love the actor of Otto. I love the way he looks. I love the way he talks.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be such a good addition. I really enjoy the way he is. But
perfect hand.
Perfect. Did you have any takeaways that you want to go over, other than ones I've gone over?
No, I think. Oh, the King Viserys' dagger. Did you notice that?
Mm-mm.
Is that the same dagger that was sent to kill Bran?
Oh.
Look up the dagger. Look up the dagger real quick.
Okay.
Let's take 2 minutes and do that. Look up King Viserys' dagger.
Let's do this. Because it's funny, as soon as you said dagger, I thought about that dagger, and did I see that?
Oh, maybe we might have to go back and watch. But
oh, the one he gives to Rhaenyra?
No, he never gave the dagger to him. You only see the dagger when he's sitting down.
Oh, okay.
It's the dagger that that killed the White Walker, the king.
Okay,
the dagger that was used by the assassin to kill Bran. After he fell out of the... I'm pretty sure that's the exact same dagger.
Interesting. So you're not...
Valyrian steel dagger.
Uh-huh.
It has that really weird handle.
I should have looked at it. The black and gold handle, right?
Yeah. And it comes to like a super sharp point.
Yes.
But it seemed very obvious that they were trying to show that dagger, because I think the first time you saw it was at the tournament when he's sitting down watching the tournament.
Okay.
And it's just sitting there and you can see it. Let
me see. Oh, let me see.
That has to be the same.
That is
dagger.
funny. I completely dropped that from my memory, but as soon as you said dagger, I remembered that. Yes.
Yeah. Because that dagger came back and forth in Game of Thrones like crazy.
Well, that was the dagger that Arya used. I forgot that.
Yeah, that's the dagger that... Yep, because it's the Valyrian steel or whatever. And
a sword, a dagger with many stories.
I just can't remember where it came from now that I'm thinking about it.
Jaime said... Yeah.
What did Jaime say? See,
no, sorry, not Jaime. Tyrion.
Tyrion.
Why would I send a assassin with my own blade to kill him? That's what he says. So was it Tyrion? Tyrion's... They do explain it. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I know they did. But anyway, that was my number one take, and it was... I saw that dagger, immediately recognized it, and I'm excited because I bet you that's going to be a play in a bunch of stuff.
That's awesome.
But then also... Oh. All right, we'll talk about that again. Keep going. Never mind.
Okay. Well, now I want to get into our favorite scenes.
Yes.
And I'll go mine first. So, My favorite scene was the birth scene. Because it had by far the most emotion in any moment in this episode for me. And
the during the tournament and the music playing with the birth scene. Yeah.
And oh my gosh. Like, I've never seen that exact situation before where the husband chooses, he knows his wife's going to die and he holds her hand and like and then the way the queen was acting in that moment, she acted her heart out. And I feel like the director was like, "Okay, you got 2 scenes in this episode, in this whole show. Yeah. Make them freaking count and go all out." And she's like, "Okay, I'm going all out." Yeah. And I felt like Stacy, we're pregnant right now, so I feel that might add to it a little bit. But Stacy was just like closing her eyes over the blankets, and I was like, "Oh, this is awful," but it's so freaking good. That episode for me, I mean, that scene really carried the episode and just brought all the emotion I wanted.
Yeah.
But it was so terrible. And part of the reason why it was so terrible was I went into it believing that Viserys chose to kill the queen over the baby. But after the episode, the directors were talking about it, and they made it seem like Viserys could have either had both die or just the baby live. But I thought it was he could choose.
No, I think
it was either both or the baby.
It was the wife's gonna die no matter what.
Okay. See, when I watched it, I thought they said either one. Insane. Yeah.
I got you. That's messed up.
I was like, "Viserys, you cunt." And we both hated him. It was like, okay, he's already like showing his true colors. But then they had that director's cut for like 3 minutes and they explained it, and I was like, oh, okay, he's not a bad guy.
Yeah, he had to choose.
Yeah.
Which would you choose anything but that, honestly?
No.
You had to choose.
Yeah.
But the wife did such a good job at like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? You stop, dude. That would have been tough.
Yeah. During my second watch through today, I skipped that scene. I couldn't watch it. But it was so good. Everything about it.
It was good.
Viserys is pretty brave. Just hold on to her like that. He's a good guy.
That's what I'm saying. He's a likable character.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, he's not your typical Targaryen son.
Nope.
I think he's gonna go nuts at the end of this.
Oh, you think his coin's gonna flip again?
I think he's gonna. I just believe that he can't be this nice guy this whole time. I just feel like, because if it is Daemon versus Hightowers, and I truly believe he's going to be married to a Hightower, I think it's going to bring out some evil demons from him. He's going to bring the dragon out.
Because soon after the funeral, when they're speaking about the succession plan, the night of,
yeah,
even in that moment of hardship, he still was listening to them and like having the discussion because they were there. But then after like 10 minutes, he like couldn't have it. But he's still even acting nice in that moment. So yeah, if they had his coin flip again and go crazy, that'd be shocking, and that'd be really good. But yeah, that was my favorite, and that's all I have to say about that.
That was one of mine. I think my favorite was the end, the very last conversation Varys and his daughter, Rhaenyra, had. That whole dialogue, the whole secret. There's even from the time of Aegon, there's the secret that they possess, that they hold. That I'm just
The Song of Fire and Blood, or
that got
Fire
me
Knife.
so pumped for what's gonna happen. But
so do we know? Did that prophecy die when the Baratheon took over? When the Baratheons?
I don't know.
Because Daenerys, had no idea. Yeah. I wonder if she was too young. And she just it was never told to her. Oh wait, he said it's only told to the kings, right?
Only told to
So it must have died with the Mad King. Interesting. Yeah, that was so good. And then it even ended with the Game of Thrones song as well on top of it, like as it was going. That was freaking good.
Yeah. So that was probably my favorite.
Huh. I actually need to go back and watch that. I need to listen to every single word that was said in that scene because.
Well, that's what I did at the very beginning. I went back through the beginning at least 5 times to. This is 60 years. that he had good health. He reigned. That's when the Targaryens had the power over the land. They had 10 dragons. And I wanted to make sure I got that whole point. Like, okay. And then moving forward. And then that line, it was so good. What did it say? The only thing that could tear down the House of the Dragons was itself.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, here it goes.
Something I've already appreciated. Something I've already appreciated about this show, like adding to Game of Thrones, is when you just watch Game of Thrones, you feel like Daenerys has like too much passion about getting her rightful throne, you know?
Yeah.
Because you could easily say it's not hers. But knowing the history of the Targaryens and how they actually have, like, literally it was just her father who lost it.
Yeah.
So for her, it's like hundreds of years of her family owning the throne that she really does have that. I do understand her control over it, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this stupid guy took it over, and I'm going to take it back because it's mine. We've had it forever. And I feel like that was kind of lost, to me at least, in the show. Like, you don't necessarily have the claim. You lost it.
Yeah.
But now it makes sense. Like, they were so powerful.
Yeah, I get it.
And I want to dye my hair silver just to look like them now. So, did you have any wishes throughout the episode? Like, I wish this wasn't this way. Or which this could be kind of an interlude to your least favorite scene that you wish could be different.
I get the whole nudity. I get the whole sex stuff. I do. It's a big attention grabber for dudes. I get that in that time frame it was that free willy-nilly. I get it. But that whole scene with Daemon at the whorehouse just didn't make sense to me. Yeah. I just didn't get it. Did they really have to do that? Did it ruin any of the story? You know? And that's just... I just wish they didn't have to put that in every time.
Yeah.
Not that I'm a prude or anything. I'm fine with it. It just... It seems like they have to make a point into putting in these scenes to... And it just never lines up, you know?
Yeah.
But... If
you have some, like, importance with it... like Daenerys' rape scenes with Khal Drogo.
Yeah.
Like, not that I like those scenes, but at least there was some character development in it. Yeah. That I wrote down the same thing for that scene as well. That Daemon sex scene, nothing was gained. I feel like, and he just didn't say a single word throughout it. Yeah. He just sat there and just like.
Unless I thought about it for a split second, but I just don't know if. I don't think it's going to be that big a deal, but the whore went with him, right? Once he left off his dragon.
Yeah.
He had the whore with her, so maybe she is a way bigger part, but I don't know.
That doesn't just because that doesn't mean that it had to do that scene.
No, I get it.
We needed more discussion afterwards by both of them, you know?
Yeah.
To like feel more importance by that scene. But
yeah. And we might get a lot more of that later on, but yeah.
Yep. It was kind of their cuts into the sex scenes are always funny to me.
Yeah, totally.
Stacey always laughs so hard.
100%.
Like the cutscene to Daenerys and Khal Drogo, it was just so instant and just like
okay.
Here it is.
Yep.
Yeah. So for me personally, I had one wish.
Okay.
And not that I'm saying I know better than them, because this could be wrong, and I don't necessarily have it as a full wish because I don't know how it would come across. But I feel like this episode could have been cut into 2 episodes. Have it slower in the first episode, and have the death scene and funeral in the second episode. And I don't know what you'd end it with the first episode, but just because I wish we could have seen more of the mother and bring a stronger connection. So this whole thing is about, you could have had the whole cut on the king in the second episode, and just kind of bring a little bit more connection to the characters. Not that I didn't care with the mother, because obviously I did, and that scene was really good. But if I just had like 2 or 3 more scenes throughout the episodes of them talking and like seeing what she was like, I feel like that scene could have been even more powerful, and the funeral could have been more powerful. Just with one more episode to kind of bring it in. And then
like a two-part pilot or something.
Yeah. And like take out, because we learned like 8 things in this episode. Have 4 in one, 4 in the other, and develop the characters a little bit better. Yeah. That was like my only feeling come off, and it was like, I wish this funeral mattered more to me than it does. But as I said in the beginning, when you make a show or movie, you have to have the beginning, have the hook that shows what's this all about, because you have to have the flame start in that first episode showing what this is all about, and they did it with this, so I get it, but I feel like it could have been more powerful.
No, I get that.
Yeah, but I could be wrong. If they actually did it, it could have been worse. But so, just a thought.
Yeah. I think we can say that about anything we absolutely love, though. You know.
Yeah.
Because I wish Lord of the Rings was 3 movies per book. You know.
Oh yeah.
Just give me everything. Give me all the information. But
that's true.
But this episode was just good all around, though. Yeah. It really was. I was hooked almost every second. Yeah. Seriously.
And
I didn't feel like I left Game of Thrones, you know. And I'm excited. It was good.
I will say, as I said in the Better Call Saul episodes, there's something about prequels that just have less power than the originals. Like a sequel can have just as much power, but there's something about knowing that, like, whatever happens in this, Game of Thrones happens right after. Happens after, and Bran's gonna be the king regardless. And I know it's not necessarily true for this, because there's a big gap between, but there's something in the inner part of me that's like, Bran's gonna be the king after this anyways.
Oh yeah.
It's small, but, and I don't expect much of a prequel factor to have a place here because of that gap. Yeah. And but we do know that Rhaenyra will never be queen, so that's another factor that we learned from we know that fact, so it kind of takes some of the mystery away. That's not an ending thing that could occur. Because Game of Thrones, anything could freaking happen. We had no idea with anything, which 99% of this show is that way as well. But it's just a little point.
But we do know the final outcome. No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. And then really quickly, I wanted to touch on some of the visuals, because the CGI was so good in this episode. Yeah, like I said in the beginning, King's Landing was so good. It looked exactly like it was before, but better, with the Targaryen flags and the dragon sculpture. Yeah. And everything looked in place. And then my wife, for all the people who care about these type of things, as a dude, I don't care, but she said the Rhaenyra dress really caught her eye, and she thought it was superb. Like during the ceremony where she became the heir, she said everything about it, the hair, the dress, it's all good. And I was like, okay, I'll take your word for it, because that doesn't appeal to me. But, and then I also, go on.
I just it better look good, because apparently I just looked it up. It's they spent $20 million per episode.
Oh my gosh. And how much does Lord of the Rings cost again for this season? Was it like
3 movies?
No, the show.
Oh, Lord of the Rings. Ooh, I don't know.
Isn't it like, I don't know. It's a ridiculous amount. Look that up.
I'll keep talking and I'll look it up, yeah.
Oh. And, well, then the last visual is, I feel like the horrors are on point in this episode.
What was that?
I felt like the horrors were on point.
I thought that's what you said.
I'm kidding.
Oh, that's funny.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm interested to see the price on Lord of the Rings compared to this. I will say this show is a lot more realistic than Lord of the Rings in terms of like Lord of the Rings, you have a lot of the sets and things look very fantasy. This feels like medieval. So I wonder if that is a more expense or a less of expense.
Yeah. Okay, it looks like. Ooh. So it looks like the show itself is the Rings of Power. So if anyone doesn't know, Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones is probably our top two favorite things when it comes to entertainment, movies, TV show and all that. So Lord of the Rings, it looks like it's going to cost Amazon over $1 billion. The first
That's
season
what it was.
alone is
Okay.
the first season alone is going to cost $462 million. So they got some money behind it too.
Dude.
So yeah, that's one of our biggest excitements right now, because the Lord of the Rings of Power is coming out on September 2nd, right after the House of Dragons. So it's we're excited to see which one comes up on top. But it looks like they got plenty of money behind Rings of Power. So
Yep.
I'm just more like House of Dragons. I get we know what the story is. It's about the Targaryens and they're right. This, I really have no idea what the Rings of Power is about.
No.
Is this before the rings were created? I don't know.
Oh wait, I know. It's
Okay. I haven't looked up anything about it.
I'm forgetting now. I did a bunch of research before my video on it.
Oh, gotcha.
It's Sauron. It's about try to remember. Okay, whatever. I can.
Yeah, we can call this Lord of the Rings stuff out. We'll do that later.
Yeah.
But anyway,
but yeah. There's not much else to talk about. I mean, I feel like we hit every point that was important.
No, that was good.
Oh, real quick, the tournament.
Yeah.
I was. Is Damon tripping the horse not illegal?
I don't. Ann and I looked at each other right when that happened, and it made no sense.
Yeah. That kind of
tripping the horse.
That bugged me a little.
I've never seen it before in jousting movies and stuff, but the fact that they hit each other and then they rode around, picked up another one, then went right back at it.
Yeah, usually they stop.
It was cool as crap.
Yeah.
More of an endurance thing. I love it. That was so cool.
And was it a 3-round thing? Do you know?
I don't
or is it just hit each other until someone falls?
It really didn't make sense because my very limited amount of knowledge of jousting. But it seemed like every time someone lost, they got up and got their sword out and started killing them. Like, I'm pissed at you.
Yeah.
I didn't get what that was about.
That was cool. But, well, it was like, I challenge you. Since you beat me, I want to fight you.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't have to fight. It seemed like
you just can't take the loss, fool.
So, what did you feel? Well, how did you feel about the Targaryen armor?
Oh, like Daemon's.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, me either.
It looked plasticky.
Yeah.
It didn't look real enough for me.
The other knight's armor looked really good. It had like the rustic look on it and like the wear.
The gold.
There's quite a bit of them.
Commander.
I think Cole had like some wear and tear on. Yeah. But like Damon's look kind of plasticky. I don't like the wings on the helmet.
I don't like the light. Even Otto Hightower's son, who was in it, his helmet was just a normal helmet, but with like towers.
The tower was sick.
Yeah. It was cool. Yeah. It was simple. It looked real. But Damon's did not look real at all. It looked like something you saw at Comic-Con.
Which Stacy can talk about the dresses and stuff, but I can talk about the armor. That's my area. But yeah, did not love it.
Everything looked good.
Yeah.
Other than that, no, everything looked good to me. I liked the brief second of seeing the dragon's like saddle. Looked really cool and detailed.
Oh yeah.
But the couple seconds you saw it.
Yeah. That's true. I didn't even think about that. I mean, I remember what it looked like.
Yeah.
But it totally passed me that Daenerys never had one and they do.
Nope.
Which makes a lot of sense.
She rode on those spines.
Pleasurably.
Yup.
Before we end, I did want to ask you, I must have missed the importance of Cole. What's your...
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't know.
We don't know
really,
then?
I was confused.
Okay.
Not that I know of.
Was it just like, did someone say one thing about him and then they started fighting? And then...
I missed it. I don't know if they actually... I watched it a couple times and I just don't know if that's going to be a
something
big character.
It must
later
be
on.
something. Yeah.
It has to be, right? But
like I made that connection that Damon's gonna be like the Jaime Lannister of the story. Jaime would not lose that fight, so that's one thing Jaime's better at. That was kind of unimpressive, his fight.
Yeah.
He lost. I mean, the fight was fun, but I did not expect him to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much it, man.
I think I got nothing else.
Yeah.
Just excited to see where this goes. I want to know what the secret is. And I'm assuming the secret has to do with the White Walkers, right? Because he talked about the North. Okay. Just want to make sure.
Well, he said he called it the Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah.
So he's just Game of Thrones. They're just connecting it.
Gotcha.
Which is awesome.
Yes, it is. Besides that, no, I got nothing else. It was good.
Well, I guess we didn't necessarily talk about, but Viserys did send Daemon away.
Oh yeah,
already.
Yeah. That was a big thing.
Yeah, it seemed like Viserys was not going to do that during the council before. Yeah. It seemed like he was going to fight for his brother regardless, but he didn't.
Yeah. Nope.
That was surprising.
Sent him back to Runestone, I think.
Yeah. Runestone, yeah.
So,
because I thought RuneScape when he said it, so Runestone.
But yeah, no, Daemon went away. Yeah.
So, one more thing. I know I keep saying one more thing.
Oh shoot.
They mentioned Harrenhal in the opening.
Okay.
Is Harrenhal? I know it's the large castle.
Yep.
But what role does it have to play right now?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
I can't. No, I can't recall.
Because, they mentioned like all the people came to Harrenhal. Is that Black Dome building? No.
It must. No.
That's where the dragons are kept or something.
That's where the dragons are kept.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just don't. I want to know because I don't know if they ever mentioned in Game of Thrones like the purpose of it. I know they said it's like the largest castle in the Seven Kingdoms and it's like cursed or whatever, so no one wants it. Oh, I don't know. But I'm curious if that's going to be told in this show or whatnot. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you knew, so I wanted to ask you. But
nope.
Okay.
Time will tell.
Yep. Man, but
other than that,
nope. That's about it.
Overall, it was a good first episode.
Yep. And we only got 9 more until.
Just 9 more.
Just 9 more.
Gosh.
Each an hour. I think that one was like an hour and a half, wasn't it? It's pretty long.
Well, it wasn't because it had that little ending at that little. No, it was.
It's probably an hour 20. It was good.
It was an hour 20 or something. It was good.
So we got about 9 more hours.
It was perfect.
Of this
conversation.
Yep. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you liked it. If you didn't like it, still do it and let us know what you thought. Thank you for watching and have a good one. Bless you.
Peace.